NESN studios for intermissions online, wherever you can find us as we break down the first period. 1-0 for the Boston Bruins over the Florida Panthers. Guys, we're going to start with a very early penalty kill that the Bruins had to kill. They did. Successful PK in this period once again. The storyline continues, but one you really didn't want to have to do that early on. Odd call on Justin Brazeau.
Yeah, I mean, I guess by the letter of the law, the rules of the game, that if you pull a guy's helmet off, you can get a 2-minute minor. But I'll tell you, from covering the Bruins all year long, I saw it a number of times, and it was very rarely called. And I thought it was the wrong call in this situation because clearly Matthew Tkachuk was the aggressor.
He was the instigator, as we would say. It's early in game two, and you've won game one, and you're on the road.
Yeah.
For you to kill those two penalty kills off, the power plays off, in that first minute, only allowed 2 shots on goal. So you did a good job of keeping the crowd out of it and had some opportunities yourself. Speaking
of crowd, Andrew Raycroft, we can only see or hear so much from the TV. Andrew Raycroft is there for game 2. Razor, what's the crowd been like and the momentum? We talk about the momentum swings when you kill off a penalty in favor of the team, but obviously you want that momentum if you're the home team to score on the power play. Did that shift anything in the crowd there?
Yeah, certainly. The seats are all full tonight. No empty seats, but a lot of more Bruins fans here tonight. A little quiet still. I think that goal, of course, by Coyle did that. The loudest they got was the huge right pad save in the first minute, again, from Jeremy Swayman on the PK. And you guys they did a great job. They won faceoff 62% in that period. That's the highest period I can remember here in the last 6-7 games. And they did a nice job staying connected on the PK.
Razor, how did you think their discipline was in all facets of the game? I know they had the one bad line change. Lorentz had a chance coming in, misfired, got a break there. But discipline in terms of staying out of the box, quality line changes, face-offs, knowing your details if you do lose a draw, getting pucks out when you're supposed to. What was your take?
I thought they did an unbelievable job when they got in the zone at calling off. And to your point, the discipline. There was one point where Charlie McAvoy called. He couldn't go, and he stuck in the middle. Tkachuk, I think, was over on that right wing, and he looked for Barkov. And if Charlie McAvoy had taken another step and a half, he would have got beat with that pass, but instead he's able to get a stick in. So I thought in those respects, they were very good discipline-wise. I thought there's a few times where he could have been a little bit harder getting pucks out of the zone, but of course, face-offs, they were much better. So no more penalties too, right, guys? Like, all season long, they've been 3 or under against this team on average per game. They got 2 in that first period. The PK works, and the PK has been really good because they haven't jumped over that 4 penalty mark. That's the key here for the second period. Stay out of the box from my point of view.
Razor, the pregame, we were kind of talking about the top guys on the Bruins, maybe picking it up a little bit. We thought the bottom 6 were exceptional last game. And boy, Marchand came out and got a little physical and got things going, didn't he?
Oh, the hit on Tkachuk was great. That was so perfect. Tkachuk thought he had an opportunity going on a forward on the PK, and Marchand blew him up. And then he was going to blow Brandon Montour up down the wall, too. Brad came off the bench and was flying. You could hear the Florida Panther bench going crazy, telling Montour to be careful. He turns it over. And it's great to have Zacha and Coyle in on a goal. So Coyle gets his first. Now he can take a deep breath. Pavel Zacha with 3 assists now in the last 4 periods here in Florida. So that's starting to look up as well for those bigger top 6 forwards of the Bruins.
Quickly, Razor, before we let you go, I think
I have one more, but Britt's going first.
But we did not get a good look at the replay, speaking of Marchand, when he had that chance on a loose puck to the side of the net. I saw the referee wave it off. Did that hit the post or just go right through the crease?
No, it went right through, and it was just a little low. I think, of course, it's easy for me. I'm about 5 miles away here in the building. I think he had a chance, Brick, to take another step and jam it in the net. But he tried to move it quickly. He didn't have a very good angle. The puck was rolling, and he just couldn't slide it in. So I think in hindsight, he might have been able to take another step, but it was a pretty bang-bang play. Didn't hit the post, just went right through the crease.
A little bit of an inside joke here. You can pass it on to Zachello, but I miss Rose picking replays for the shots. We're not getting them here. But moving on really quickly, every goaltender is different, and I'm asking you because you, of course, played, and it depends on their vibe, their style. We know Jeremy Swayman hasn't shown much weakness here. But making such a big save early on, does that really, get you in it as opposed to kind of hanging around. Not that you'd want the opposing team to have those chances, but we saw with the Bruins not getting much shots on net through the first periods of some games in the Toronto series. Does that really kind of just wake you up and get you in it? Jeremy Swayman's had to make 2 early on.
Yeah, and especially on the road, you expect to have to do that as a goaltender. I'm sure Jeremy knew he was going to have to weather somewhat of a storm. Fortunately for the Bruins' sake, they did a really good job not causing that. And if anything, they had much more of the opportunities to score. So it's a huge save by Swayman making that right pad save. It's a huge for the team to kill that penalty off and then be able to go down and take a lead at the end of this first period. It's been massive.
Razor, thanks so much for your time. We'll talk to you a little later. We're going to continue talking here about Charlie Coyle and the nice play that line had, guys. So Brad Marchand, Pavel Zacha, we thought maybe a hook should have been called on Pavel Zacha. No whistle, but the guys got it done. Charlie Coyle with the finish.
Yeah, and Razor mentioned, you got Brad Marchand coming down the wall. He helped force that turnover to the middle of the ice on the goal. Yep. And Zacha's right there. Not a line combination put together. It was just a line change in the midst of. And then nice play by Zach. He did get hooked. It should have been a penalty call, at least a delayed penalty call. But the finish was awesome. Coyle ripped one off the post. They had that 2-on-1 with Beecher and Brazo. Beecher got the rebound after a good stop. I mean, the Bruins had opportunities to not only take the lead, but to extend the lead.
Yeah, there was 2 empty nets, right? Marchand and then Beecher had one at the latter part of that period as well. And really good to see Zacha again, as we talked about, what a good, solid game he played in Game 1 to come back through again offensively. If they struggled a little bit, to me, Brick, it was allowing too much time in your zone where they had the puck numerous times and then gave it away and not make that tape-to-tape pass to break out.
Yeah, and the fourth line got hemmed in there for a while, and Maroon was stuck down deep trying to help out with the 2D and the coverage. Probably not his biggest strength. He hung in there, fought to, fight again, by finally getting possession of the puck and getting out. Boquist ends up with the puck. He's across the red line. It's got to get in. You just spent ton of time in your own zone. So some of those little details at certain times in that first period got you a little on the edge of your seat saying, can they weather the storm? And they were able to do it. But I liked what they did offensively against this team. And Florida's got a little doubt right now about playing these Bruins.
They do, but a little bit of a late push for them as well in this period before we wrap up.
Yeah, but you're going to expect that. Again, this is, they're down 1-0 They don't want to come back to Boston down 2-0. But the Bruins weathered it. And when they weren't there to weather it, of course, Swayman makes the save. It controls his rebounds and realizes that when there is that opportunity to take a whistle, take it, because Bruins were caught running around and had long shifts and were a little tired.
Okay, guys, well, we're going to recap with the game summary after 1 period. Of course, 1-0 for the Boston Bruins. And Florida, 0-2. The special team still pretty much virtually perfect in these playoffs, except for one. And shots, face-offs, guys, we didn't talk about it. Maybe we'll touch it in the second intermission, but face-offs in favor of the Boston Bruins. So that's it for us on the digital and social channels. We're going to be back in the second intermission and post-game on NESN to get all your Bruins coverage. For now, enjoy watching the rest of Game 2.